I hope that gives you a good overview of our organization for those of you that are new. I want to welcome you again to our Center for Education lunch. We're thrilled to have you here, and we're excited by this turnout. The Center for Education, as you heard, is one of our 7 centers, and it's our newest one. And so we had our kickoff last year with about 125 people, and today we have 250. So it's very exciting to see what Liv has done and the work we've done double in size in just a short year. On behalf of our board members that are here and Liv's advisory board, we're thrilled to have you with us today. I want to especially thank 3 of our sponsors that not only helped today's event be possible, but also helped the Center for Education when we created it 2 years ago. So I want to especially thank the Apex Foundation, the MJ Murdoch Charitable Trust, and Bank of America. Without their support, we would not have this great Center for Education in this event. So please join me in thanking those 3 companies. We also have numerous elected officials, school board members, superintendents with us today. They were up on the screen when you came in, and they'll be up again during the program. If they could stand, though, if all the elected officials, state legislators, school board members, port commissioners could stand, and we could recognize you at that time. This time would be great. Schools. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. Great. We're glad to have everybody here with us today. If I could have Liv come up. We're excited to have somebody leading our center at the caliber of Liv Finne. Liv is our director of this center. She's authored a reform plan that hopefully all of you have that shows a roadmap to reform education in our state. She speaks around the state, works with policymakers in Olympia and across Washington. She's also having an effect nationally with her work with the American Legislative Exchange Council, which is a national association of state legislators. She's on their education task force, helping develop policy for our country and all the states. She's done an amazing job in just 2 short years, and it's my pleasure to turn the program over to Liv.
Well, I'm really overwhelmed at the turnout. It just tells you how hungry our society is for ideas to improve our public schools. My name is Liv Finne. I'm the Director for Education of the Washington Policy Center. I must first tell you who is here today. In addition to former Seattle Mayor Norm Rice, who will be introducing our speaker, Rob Stein, we have school superintendents, school board presidents, school board members, public and private school principals, members of the State Teachers Union, and many representatives of organizations interested in education reform. I'd like to first ask my Education Advisory Committee to stand. I have a very strong supporting group that is giving me advice and helping me, and they include Steve Johnson and Bob Wiley, and Katie Simons is here, and Terry Mearsman, and I have a very strong supporting team, and I thank them very much. My job is to find the best, yes, thank you. My job is to find the best research for improving our schools. Everyone is aware that our schools need help. They are not doing well. The average high school student today is academically weaker than the average high school student of 1950. The State Board of Education recently classified over 64% of Washington schools as being no better than just adequate or failing. 1/3 of our students are dropping out of high school. It turns out that pouring more and more money into education, which we've been doing now for decades, has not worked to improve our schools because the money is not going to where it is needed most. The good news is that there are schools across this country which are achieving dramatic results for students, even the most poor and disadvantaged children. We published our education reform plan, which offers a roadmap for improving Washington schools, which you can pick up if you're interested in reading it. Soon after that, we published Scott Oakey's wonderful book, Outrageous Learning. We believe that the structure of our schools system prevents school leaders from doing what they know students need. This straitjacket of burdensome regulations is so heavy I can barely hold it over my head. But this is what we must cast off if we're going to see improved results. Other states have, all right, yes. You know this is true. Other states have embraced these ideas. In Colorado, for example, lawmakers passed the Innovation Schools Act, which allows students to waive many of the rules which prevent them from creating conditions for student learning. You will hear more about this from our excellent and inspiring speaker that we have here today. Last year, we heard Professor Bill Ochi from UCLA's Anderson School of Management. His research shows that putting the principal in charge of his budget in actual dollars allows the principal to reduce student load on teachers, which leads to significant improvement in student learning. This research is so important that I'm giving Professor Ochi's book to the superintendents in this room. If they will come afterward, I'll make arrangements to give them a copy of that book. And I must say that there is nothing in this straitjacket of regulations which prevents school principals from school superintendents from putting their principals in charge of their budgets. With a little training, they can do it without a state law. We are also giving away a copy of Scott Oakey's book for those of you willing to support our Center for Education with a $50 contribution or more to support our work. We need your support, as our work is entirely dependent on the support of people like you. Before I introduce Mayor Rice, let me sincerely thank all of the sponsors of this luncheon who support our work in so many ways. The Apex Foundation, which gave us our startup grant, the Murdoch Foundation, and the many co-sponsors of the tables, Greg Bennett, Benson Porter Company, Finne Architects, Brian Jansen, Mary Ordermatt, Sarah Rinlaw, Washington Families for Online Learning, Washington Federation of Independent Schools, and Washington Virtual Academies. Thank you very much for coming around us. Finally, and very importantly, I now have the great privilege and honor to introduce former Mayor Norman Rice, who continues to serve our great city and its people. We are so pleased to have him here to set the scene for the remarkable success story you are about to hear. Mayor Norman Rice attended Manual High in Denver, Colorado, which in his day was a model of educational excellence in community, successfully educating and preparing students to undertake leadership roles in society. 3 graduates of Manual High of those days later became mayors of large urban cities. After graduating from Manual High, Mayor Rice came to Seattle to attend the University of Washington, later earning a master's degree at the Daniel J. Evans School of Public Affairs. He started his career as a reporter at Como TV and KIXI Radio, and later served in leadership positions at the Seattle Urban League and the Puget Sound Council of Governments. In 1978, he was elected to the Seattle City Council and re-elected 3 times, serving 11 years in all. He was elected mayor in 1989 and served until 1997, filling 2 whole terms. He led the rejuvenation of the downtown, improving transportation, overseeing new development, and ensuring accessibility to affordable housing. He leads the project Civic Engagement at UW's Evans School, working closely with professors, students, civic and community leaders to apply the principles of civic engagement to address critical issues in our region. Last year, he was named CEO of the Seattle Foundation. Norman believes in civic engagement, so when I called him to ask him if he would introduce our speaker, he said yes. And we are so thrilled he did. I am honored to present to you Norman Rice.